Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dog Season 3, Episode 3. Only a diamond can polish a diamond. Last episode was Tria revealing that he is Arahabaki, right? And they figured out who was behind the rumors of the old boss coming back to life and everything. And it was what was his name again? That's called Rondo. Yeah, that was his name. So he's the one that was. Wait, isn't Rondo the same name? Isn't the guy I'm thinking Yu Yu Hakusho when maybe when you have a headache you can't think. Yusuke, when Yusuke was gonna go through this training to get training from the old lady, and then there was this demon that was undercover to try to learn her techniques as well. I feel like that guy that was the demon was called Rando, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but yeah, like I said, I have a headache, and so like each time I can't really do any kind of movements right now. I'm about to take some medicine. Hopefully that will help. But yeah, so I'm excited to see how all this is gonna play out because not Tria. Dazai did not know. He did not deduce at all that Tria was Arahabaki. So his reaction when he heard that I love this, like what? So yeah, that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon. Patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. I stopped you in the nick of time. Okay, let's go back to that particular. After I was done, I basically was coming through the episode again, which felt like I'm watching it twice, sitting here, because I feel like I wanted to. First off, the reason why I went back at first was to see his explanation as to why he as to why he kept his hands in his pocket, and he said that he felt like if his life was threatened, that that feeling will make him wanna basically hold on to his humanity or something or other like that. That's why he kept his hands in his pocket. So I'm guessing, if I understand that correctly, I'm guessing because Arahabaki is this destructive force, he probably doesn't really care about his own life, maybe. And keeping his hands in his pocket will make it so that he would not want to hold on so tight to his own life, I guess. I don't know. And the fact that he was so threatened by Randall and that he had to take his hands out and protect his life or some, I don't know. I'm not making any sense. I don't know. Either way, the reason why he was looking for whoever was looking for Arahabaki was because he doesn't know about his origins. From what I understood, he doesn't know his origins. So the fact that this person, he himself, he knows that he is Arahabaki, and the fact that this person that's looking for Arahabaki, he's thinking, okay, maybe this person's gonna give me information as to why they're looking for me, and maybe give me more information as to his background and everything. And clearly this guy doesn't really know his background. I mean, he said that he was a gifted spy from the West. He came with his partner because they heard about the Japanese having this destructive force that they wanted for themselves, right? So they infiltrated the Japanese government or whatever. They went there, they found Arahabaki, and then him and his partner started arguing about it. his partner turned on him or something or other like that. And then he said he killed him, but based on what Uncle said, he's not dead. He wasn't dead. So he took Arahabaki, he unleashed him, and it was from that explosion, destruction, that city, that crater was created, and then Arondo himself lost his memories. Probably, and then after that he remembered or something or other like that, and then he started looking for Arahabaki again. I don't know, something. I guess that's how it went. But then you have Chuya himself saying that basically his life before that incident happened is a blank. Like he said, he was living in darkness, and then he felt someone pull him out of that darkness, and that was 8 years ago when that incident happened. So what happened before that, And then at some point in the episode as well, they said that I think it was Mori-san that was saying it, that the Japanese was conducting this experiment with combining like gifted people and normal people to create an artificial gifted person or something or other like that. I'm wondering if that's how Chuya was basically created, but then again, I'm like, okay, if they're mixing gifted people and normal people to create a new type of artificial gifted person, and then you have Chuya, that's basically the vessel for Arahabaki. Is Arahabaki like a gifted entity, something? I mean, they call it the god of fire. And he said that he believes that gods exist, so he's believing that this Arahabaki is a god and whatnot. And he's just like a normal human being. And then he's now the vessel of Arahabaki, and that's how he got his gravity powers and stuff. So... And I'm just trying to relate it to the research that said that they were conducting and whatnot. But I still don't know exactly what his origins are. And then after he asked Rondo, okay, why are you looking for me? He's like, okay, I'm going to tell you. And then he unleashed his ability, which he creates this sort of like soft space where the normal law of physics doesn't apply. So Chuya was not able to use his gravity to defend against his attacks. And then he creates this subspace. He keeps himself separated from Dazai because he knows what Dazai's abilities are, and he also keeps Dazai separated from Chuya. Right, but Chuya is able to attack Rondo whenever he wants, And Rondo's thing, well, as they were fighting and whatnot, the old boss also appeared and he sliced Dazai. Now, with him slicing Dazai felt closer to death, and with him feeling closer to death, it made him want to live even more, because he's saying, okay, we've known Dazai ever since this show started, that Dazai has been so obsessed with killing himself and whatnot. And I'm like, why are you so intent on killing yourself? The episode, was it the previous episode or the one before that? I don't know. Mori-san asked Dazai, okay, why do you want to kill yourself? And he's like, what's the point of living? That's his answer to Mori-san. And then in this particular episode, when the old boss attacked him and he was sort of like close to death, now he sort of like felt a little more value to life. And then he's like normal people, we live, we don't want to die, so we try to push death away. But he's saying that death is basic, it's a normal part of life, It's like everyone that lives dies. It's a normal process of everything. And he felt like now that this old boss has killed him, and he sort of like felt a little more value in life, he's like, okay, being in the poor mafia is gonna basically, since normal people try to push the death away, and the poor mafia is like more like creates death all around, then it's better for me to be there. And the more closer to that I am out of all this death, I'm gonna be able to appreciate life more. I guess that's how I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. He's thinking, out of this whole situation. So he's like, telling Chuya, okay, we need to work together on this to kill them. At first, there was a point where Daza tried to touch the space, but then Rondo pushed it far away from him, For some reason, I was thinking that he needed to touch Rondo himself in order for the his ability to go away. But that's not it. He needed to touch the ability itself, and then that can cancel it. Then I'm like, started remembering, is that how his ability, his gift works? And then I remembered they showed him in this episode. What was his name again? The one that creates all this nightmarish, the one with the doll and everything. When the whole city was on fire during the Francis's stuff, when the whole city was on fire and Asushi had the doll. When that touched the doll, that's when everything stopped. He didn't actually touch the person, So I'm like, okay, so I guess that makes sense. So when Dazai was facing the old boss, he had his hand bandaged and everything, and then the boss used his side and was like, he hit the thing, but then you see that it was some kind of armored looking thingy around his arm. I'm like, you know what? From now on, anytime I see Dazai bandage whatever his arms, his legs, I'm gonna assume that there's something hidden in there, because it's like, oh yeah. So after the boss hit him with the scythe and everything, and then I don't know if it's the force of the hit from the old boss that sort of propelled him backward towards Chuya, So he was reaching out his hand with the armor toward Chuya. And I'm thinking, okay, since his Chuya's ability is gravity, I'm like, okay, is he trying to use gravity? I'm thinking, how do you say ammo in English? What's the word? I have to look it up. Un aimant en anglais. Aimant. How do you write aimant again? No. Is that it? Magnet. Okay. I was like, I haven't written aimant in like forever, so I'm like, am I even spelling it right? Okay. Magnet. I thought he was sort of like gonna be using the thing on his arm, like some kind of magnet, uses gravity to sort of attract him toward him, and everything. But then I'm like, okay, is he also like the force from the attack from the old boss? Either way, they were gonna get into contact, right? And Dazai was gonna be able to touch the space. And Rondo tried to pull the space back away from Dazai, but then you have Chuya there, basically keeping like the where he particularly was. He was trying to keep that space like right there, so that it doesn't go away from Dazai, and Dazai can like touch it, and then everything like disperse. And that's what he did, and then they stopped Rondo, and that's when they asked Rondo for, details about what happened. He told them about the how he infiltrated with the partner, and then the partner, after they got he wasn't calling him Arahabaki. It was another word that he was calling him. After they got him, then him and his partner started fighting. My thing was, okay, he said he got him. How did he get him? Like, what form was Chuya in when he first got him, and then he unleashed him, and then the creators started happening? Because he was like, okay, at the beginning when Chuya said that he was Abaki, he's like, I had a feeling it was you. Did he not know Arahabaki's original form, like how Chuya is right now? Did he not know that that's him? And if not, Arahabaki itself was like this giant destructive force and whatnot. If he was like that, how did he exactly like get him? So I'm sort of like confused as to the form that Chuya had in that particular moment when he first got him, and then he got him, he unleashed him, and then he lost his memories, and then now he recovered his memories, I guess, and now he tried. What his goal was to kill Chuya, have Arahabaki, basically. He can also, when someone dies in his space or whatever, he can turn that person into this supernatural being and control them or whatnot. That's what he did with the old boss, but he can only control them like one at a time. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill Chuya and then be able to control him and Arahabaki, and use him to replace the old boss. So that's what he was trying to do with Chuya. But then with Dazai also knowing his secret now and everything, he was gonna also try to kill Dazai as well. But again, none of that happened. Now, Chuya was at a gravesite. I'm assuming that was Rondo's gravesite, because he said that, excuse me, like whatever research or whatever that he was looking into that the poor mafia has now and something or other like that. If it was somebody else, wouldn't they have showed us the name on the tombstone? I don't know. I'm assuming it's Rondo, which is not even his real name. But okay, he left the gravesite, and then the person that told him that he was nothing without them last episode just showed up, and it was like, okay, we have come to an understanding or whatever. And then these people joined up with the GSS, which last episode or the one previously, they said that the GSS and the ship were the enemies of the poor mafia. So these two banded together and then decided to kill Chuya, because in their mind, Chuya has now aligned himself with the poor mafia, and they feel that, it's not good for them because of how strong Chuya is and everything. And then they turned on him. I'm like, are you for real? Okay. This guy planted him with this. Was it a knife? I don't know. It was poison. There was rat poison on it or something or other like that. Chuya fell. Dazai was waiting there with his army, and he was basically telling him, okay, we're gonna go and kill everybody else up there. First of all, he told him the message that Mori-san wanted him to join the poor mafia. And then he's like, I'm here to kill all those people. But I guess if someone that is part of the poor mafia and has, information on the enemy decided to give me another point of view, I might follow that or whatever. Basically telling him, if you join the poor mafia and you tell me not to kill your people, your sheep, then I'm not going to kill them. So what else can he do but join the poor mafia? So he's like, don't kill the kids. Dazai wasn't even going to kill them in the first place. And then when Dazai made the mention of, if you lose to me in the game or something or other like that and whatnot, and then that's when it clicked with Chuya. that he planned all of this. Like when he made that phone call when the other two ships were there, and he made that phone call to Mori-san, and he was trying to sow this doubt in, because there was already a rumor going around about Chuya having joined the poor mafia, and then he makes that call while he's with Chuya and to Mori-san, who's the leader of the poor mafia, telling them to let the ship go. So he's basically like increasing the doubt in these two. And now because of that, they turned against Chuya, and now Chuya has been forced to join the poor mafia to save them. And it's like he saw all this thing happening. I'm like, da-da. Okay. But I feel like, yes, it's because of what Dazai did and the fact that he had no choice in that particular moment that he joined the poor mafia. But it wasn't until he actually talked to Mori-san, and Mori-san basically presented him with all the research. He was right there on the well, first of all, he gave him the hat. He's like, the hat's from Rando-san. And because he's the one, like, Mori is the one that basically recruited him, this is sort of like a gesture or something or other like that. And since he recruited Dazai as well, he gave Dazai his coat, and now he's giving Chuya the hat, and then he's telling him that he's showing him the research papers, and he knows that Chuya will want to look through it because he wants to learn more about himself. But then Chuya's looking at it, okay, I'm gonna look through or whatever, and he's like, I'm sorry, only the what are they called again? Like the upper echelon of the leader members of the poor mafia. I forgot what they were called. Like only those people are allowed to look through it, so that's gonna be even more incentive for him to rise up in the ranks. And then it wasn't until also that Mori explain what a true leader of an organization is to Chuya, that he fully understood, like he was now fully into becoming a part of the poor mafia. It was not because of Dazai coercing him into becoming a member. It was like, okay, this guy is really what you call a leader, and I fully identify with what he's saying. And when he talked about protecting the organization at all costs and protecting the beloved city and whatnot, like his whole speech, his charisma and everything, that's what made Chuya actually become a full member of the poor mafia of his own volition. It wasn't not at that moment. It was not because of Dazai. It was because of himself, And then when they saw each other at the end, they were about to go to a meeting or whatever, and they like went right back at each other, snapping at each other and everything. And I think her name was Koyo. She was asking Mori if he's sure about having these two be a part of the poor mafia, and he quoted the title of the episode to him: "Only a diamond can polish a diamond." So basically, these two rivals are gonna make each other better. That's what I got out of that quote, and I couldn't help but make the comparison as well between Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke being Dazai and Naruto being whatever. Either way, rivals pushing each other to become better. And he also, that quote was also, he said that it was told to them by somebody, and that it was told to him, and he said Fukuzawa. I'm like, isn't that the name of the president of the detective agency? And it seemed, I want to know what's the relationship between these two, man. Clearly they know each other, and if a particular person tells them a particular quote at the same time, that means that I'm going to assume that they used to be friends, or at least friendly at a particular time, because each time they see each other, they'll be like, are you still obsessed with cats, or are you still something else? So they know each other. So I'm like, I want to know more about their relationship as well. you know. And yeah, so what what else happened this episode? I feel like that's it. Ungo. Ungo is the one that was writing a report on Tria and Arahabaki, right? And he said that a year after he joined the Paul Mafia or something, Tria found the other, the person that they said that betrayed Rondo or whatever, that they thought was dead, and the guy told him, well, what did he tell him? Did he tell him about the research? I don't know. He told him something. I think that's where he talked about the research about combining. I don't know. Either way, he told him something, but it was not the whole truth of his origin. I don't know. I don't quite remember. People, I have a headache and I'm tired. And yeah, so he told him something, and as Uncle was like, okay, that's a story for another time. I started wondering, is Uncle the other person that betrayed Rondo? Because he was a spy in the Paul Mafia organization. He was working for the government, I guess, and he was a spy for the organization. So if he was also a spy in the West, and then Rondo and him were assigned to get this Arahabaki or whatever from the East, and then he finds the Arahabaki or whatever, it stands to reason that if the Ango, I'm guessing if Ango was the other person, it stands to reason that he wouldn't want Rondo to get Arahabaki, so he would betray him, because I don't know. And then you also know that there was a something that Ango did for Chuya, and that's why he called on him during the movie Dead Apple. That's why he called on him. He told him that Dr. Glasses needs his help or something or other like that. So he did something for Chuya, and Chuya owes him. So Chuya owed him because he fulfilled his debt when he came. So I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. Was he the other one? I don't know, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/Philamini, and you can also see the full line for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye. My head. I'ma keep the same going whether lose or win. Up or down 10, I'ma fight to the end.